Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to today's video. So a bit of a late recording of this video today. Just been watching the market a lot. I've been a bit busy, but doing it now. And sadly, we're down 29.76 today, as you see here. We traded one stock, and that was OPTT. A really actually hard stock to trade. It was a micro float. So I think it only had about 400,000 shares available, so really small float. And when these floats are really small, they can basically get manipulated a lot easier. Moves can be really bigger because the float's just getting turned over and over again. So we're going to talk about our trade today. We took a short. We missed out on two things, and definitely FOMO crept in. So one thing as always, let me show you on this chart here. So my thought coming into this is just, I see OPTT, I'm only going to talk about that stock today. I'm not going to talk about the others because there really wasn't a lot in play. OPTT started to make the moves pre-market just before it opened, so it's good that we had something to watch. But one thing, when I just look at this brief history here, as you see here, gapped up, sold off, gapped up, made a big move, sold off all its gains. So just get an idea here, and even down here, gapped up. You see the gap here, that's the close, it's the open, and you see here gapped up, sold off. So we got quite a nice theme there. So definitely looking to play this once again, as I said in yesterday's video, to play to the long side on the way up and then the short side on the way down. I think micro floats have got to be really careful. Actually, long-in's probably better in a way, because I think a lot of people are trying to push the stock up. Shorting's quite difficult for these stocks just because they just get manipulated so much, and as you see today, absolutely crazy moves. So what I did, let me go back to here. So as you see here, I go to my order history. I got short basically at 8.30, sold at 8.60, as you see here. So rejected. I made the same error as I did yesterday, but quickly changed it. You see here 8.30 in, and so basically lost that $30. One thing that happened today, and I've never had any issues with Trade Zero before, but there was a perfect entry right at the open. And as I've said in many videos, is I'm always looking, am I going to go long, am I going to go short? And at the open, there was definitely an opportunity right here. I think I was actually looking at a $9 area. Yeah, I thought it said 8.50, but no, that's right. So you see here, basically the high of this candle is 8.88. So basically at the open, looking for 8.88, basically $9, looking for $9 to break to get in to sell it into the push. What happened is I've got my main screen, as you see here in front of me, and I've got one either side monitors, and my charting that's on my right hand side. I noticed that when the market opened, this level 2 and everything was completely still, but my charting, next thing I saw within a few seconds, the OPTT had gone up to 9.30, 9.40 on my charting. So I was like, what the hell's gone on here? I basically missed the move, had to restart Trade Zero. First ever time I've had an issue with the actual software, and once I closed it off, it was absolutely fine. Didn't notice anything pre-market, but sadly it's just one of those things. So missed that opportunity. That was probably the best opportunity from a long-in perspective. We got this massive. It's just hard afterwards. It's hard to chase this because looking. So one thing I will show you. The problem is I've got to go with two different charts, but the reason why I was confident in long in at 9 and didn't think it was as overextended is because if I just use this as an example, if we base it off this candle here, you see we've got these entries that it made this big move up. It started to, it opened at 8.50 as you see, but as it was making this move up pre-market, it got to 7, it held 7.50, got to 8.50, and then it started to get to about $9. And we see on this candle here, the top wick, it was 9.42, so I definitely thought we had a move from 9 to 9.50. That was my plan, basically up to 9.42, let's say, and that would have given me confidence. Anything after that, on the brief history here, I wasn't as confident long in, and you see, we did have this, crazy move up afterwards. We got this big push up, really up to 10.50 almost, extended wick. Lots of sellers coming in, big flush down. Wasn't as confident buying the washout here. I said once again, it's already up massive crazy amount from the 450s, so just wasn't as confident. Then it started to sell off. I then missed my short-in entry, and this is what really annoyed me. As you see on the other chart here, we marked out the 942. So if we go onto the daily, you see here this high here was basically that. I don't know why it's like, but it was basically the 942 area there. And you see here on the 1 minute when we go into it, this is where I was thinking sort of the backside of the move has started. I was obviously proven wrong, but kind of proven right at the same time in a brief spell. So what happened here, and you'll see, is the stock comes up, hits that level, sort of the body there, comes down, holds that level, and then we break that 942. So that 942, which is the previous resistance from the daily chart, that's what I'm looking for now to become support. So it's broken through that level, which is confirmed by this green red candle here. Sort of goes to go up, taps it, doesn't, and then on this candle here, can I zoom in closer? There we go, that's better. You see here, busts straight through, washes down, comes up, doesn't retest, and this is what we're looking for, because you see this candle made the 1 minute to make a new high over this one, and basically it stopped dead on 942. What's the high of this candle? You'll see if I go here. You'll see the high was 944, so pretty much spot on. I just hesitated on this one, and what happens? Instantly, so I could have got in at 942, so 940, and the low of this candle was 855, so 90 cents there. Absolutely crazy. Pretty much guaranteed to get 50-60 cents on that move, and that done me in afterwards, to be honest. I think I got emotional, that's why I took a bad trade. So missed this due to software error. That annoyed me. Missed this even annoyed me even more, because as I said in the last 2 days, I've missed some really good setups just before. I mean, it is quick, it's happening very fast. It's not like I've got a minute to decide. I've got 5-10 seconds, but everything lined up for me perfectly here, and we got this washout. So really disappointed. Then it started to curl up. So what happened as it curled up? That was it. Sorry. You see here my trades. You see here what happened. It started to curl up, and it started to hit that 850 area. And if we look here, so using that sort of, I think I was trying to make something out of nothing here. Using that 850 area, if you see sort of here, you got the. Let's do the planning mode. I really don't like these charts from Trader, but you see here this kind of support for that previous resistance to support. It's supported along here, pop down, support from the body. So here, now it's becoming resistance, you see by this candle. So once it got beneath it, retested once, retested again, I got in, and we had a brief little spell down here where I was up 30 cents, but I was looking for the move back down to 750. And why 750? I said, if you look on the daily chart again, I thought this is where it would go down to. If we go onto the daily chart again, if I do this horizontal line, you see the body of this candle here, right at the 750 area. So that was sort of my risk reward. So I was sort of looking to make $1. Well, I got in at 830 because I got in a bit low, so I was risking off the 850 level, and so that's 80 cents. We was risking 30 cents, so over 2 to 1. So I was happy with that, almost 3 to 1. And if you see here in the long run, I was right. This is doing exactly what I said it would. Previous history on the daily chart. This is so slow. The previous history on the daily chart just shows you that every time it's up. Oh yeah, this is longer. That's why. Every time it's up, it gives away its gains. And what's it doing right now? It's made a crazy move up, and it's given away a lot of its gains now. So where this will end, I'm not sure. But you see, it might come down to this previous level of 942 or this 750. But yeah, really chased it. And after that, there were some moves on the way up. It was just going. Definitely needed sort of a bigger account size, more risk here. But yeah, not happy with my trade. I think I said, given the fact that I had this software issue here, given the fact that I personally missed my own entry here, that just played on me, got FOMO, and thought we'd have a move down to the 750, or at least down to sort of that $8 area, and we kind of did, but on the $8, but not on the 750. And then you see it curled up, and it's just made an insane move. This is what can happen with microfloats. I did actually think about shorting here once again, because you see here how it's sort of consolidated and made it pop up back up to this 1560 area, which is here. And if you notice on the daily chart on this candle, this allows me to go back further. So if we look at the last time OPTT was at 1560, why do I keep doing that? I really hate this charting software. That's one of the things I don't like about Trade Zero. I just don't like their charting. It's just too clunky and difficult to use. It's not smooth. But you see here, you see how this candle on the previous day topped around, basically the 1560. If I show you from a select point of view, we marked it out there, but it doesn't mark it out close enough. You see the high of this candle was 1565, and that was all the way back in 20th of July 2016. And you see here it pretty much topped out that 560 again. So I was actually thinking about shorting it on this one. Hindsight, I should have, but it was just so risky. There was like 40-cent spreads. I could have easily have lost $400 on this, just by making a crazy move. But if you see here in that previous, you see how it touched it there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times pretty much, got rejected, so it went down to the VWAP, and that's what I was kind of thinking here. Once it got rejected again, I think it would go down to the VWAP, and it hit the VWAP, got halted and broke down further, but alas, didn't want to trade it. So it is good to look at previous history, give you an idea of the shorting. So short and sweet today, guys. That's going to be it. Got to go see my boy now, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.